Let's smelt some more hearts, shall we? I mean items. Let's smelt some more items. These are the materials that you're going to need right here for the whole super smelter. Now you can build a mirror design or you can build an extended design. Your 4 types of preferred fuel are going to be obviously slabs, coal, blaze rods, and even banners now, because we get 20k banners per hour. We get enough banners to smelt 20,000 items per hour from the raid farm, which is sweet. First thing that we are going to do for this is we're just going to place down a double chest with 2 hoppers going into the back of it, and then 2 furnaces on top, with hoppers going both into the sides and the tops of those furnaces. Core furnace setup right there. Fuel in the sides, input in the top, items come out the bottom. Now what we are going to do is we're going to repeat that another 7 more times, giving us 2 rows of 8 in total, and then we are going to mirror that right beside it, giving us 4 rows of 8 and 32 furnaces in total. For the rail systems, coming to the opposite side of the chest here, we are just going to loop this around, leaving a 1 block gap between the furnace. On the opposite side, on the upper hoppers, we are going to run this out 1, 2 and make another short loop. And on the outside hoppers, come out 1 with a redstone block and then another solid block, bring it across, and then connect it to the other upper hopper. Place a final solid block right there at the front, and with that complete, that is the platforms that we are going to need for our rail system. For the fuel refiller on the side with the redstone block, we are just going to come out 2 blocks from the first hopper that we placed down, place a comparator with a repeater on those 2 blocks with a solid block off of the repeater, a redstone torch with a solid block above it, and then a gate, a fence gate on that solid block. Next, we are going to place a redstone block right beside that comparator, inputting a full signal into the side. Off of this hopper, we are going to come out 2 and then down 1. Back another 4 blocks in total, and then over 1, come up 2 more blocks, place a comparator on this side one, with an observer facing down into the comparator, then a sticky piston with a honey block. Coming around, we are going to place down 1, 2, 3 powered rails with a detector rail, and then another temporary power rail just to bring the detector rail up. Place a temporary block on the observer with a hopper going into the temporary block. A double chest on top of the hopper. This is going to be for our fuel input. And then from here, we are just going to place down a regular rail, and then we are just going to loop our powered rails all the way around to the solid block on the opposite side. With that all complete, that is your fuel system set up and ready to go. Now it's time for us to work on the input system. Now for this, coming to the front, we are just going to run out 1, 2, 3 blocks and then up 1. We are going to place down a powered rail with a detector rail and then another temporary power rail to bring the detector rail up. Above this powered rail, we are going to place a fence gate sideways, a solid block behind the detector rail with a double chest above that solid block. Beside the detector rail, we are going to run 1, 2, 3 slabs and then up 1. Place a redstone block with a solid block above it, a sticky piston off of the solid block with a redstone block on the sticky piston. From here, we are going to place a comparator facing out with a redstone dust and then a repeater set to the 3rd tick, 2 more redstone dust, and that is the redstone setup right there in order to pull 32 items from this chest and send it around. So if you extend this, you're going to have to extend this redstone. For the rail system, to do this without any hiccups, place down a regular rail with 2 powered rails. Place a powered rail next to that one with a regular rail looping around to another powered rail. Place 2 powered rails above or coming off the redstone block there, with 5 of them running back towards the detector rail. And then from here, you can just loop your powered rails around. Place a redstone block here in the center above those rails with another one next to it. Redstone block on the outside. That is going to power all of the rails. You can now place a minecart with hopper on top of that detector rail because the input system is ready. And now to get your fuel system ready, we are just going to take all of our slabs. We're going to load up the first furnace right here and the hopper behind it. And as you can see, the fence gate is now closed, which is going to allow us to place our minecart with chest here. And now we can place some fuel in the minecart with chest. That is going to extend. Place a redstone block beside this comparator. and then take these 2 blocks right here and replace them back to where they were. So 1 and 2. Now what you can do is you can take the remaining fuel that you have and load this chest and this hopper. And if your minecart is full, your hopper is full, and everything looks like that, your fuel system is ready to go. And now the easiest way to fuel up your system is just to take all of the items right here, back out of this hopper and the furnace. So we've got 1 item in there right now, 1, 1, 1. As it comes back, we're going to deposit another one. So now they all have 2, 2, 2. And you can just let this run right now until all of your hoppers are full. It's going to take a few minutes, but I mean, it saves you from having to do it manually. There was another pass, and now we have 4, 4, 4. And basically how this system works right now is that when both the minecart and the hopper are full, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. But as soon as this hopper or as soon as this furnace burns 1 piece of fuel, the minecart, as you can see, is going to get sent out to refuel the system. And I mean, there's no fancy wizardry right here. There's no like, oh my god, he's a redstone genius. This can easily be achieved by following the order of operations. So right now, this comparator has a full strength of 15 coming into the side of it. So input of 15. Now, in order to get a signal strength to come out of this comparator, we need a full strength to come into the back of it, aka a full hopper. As soon as we don't have a full hopper, we don't get a signal from the comparator, which then flip-flops this redstone torch right here, which then opens and closes this gate when this block is over top of it. Now, the reason why this block is not over top of this gate anymore, or in front of this gate anymore, is because this minecart is not full. But once the minecart is full, it gets sent out, reloads the entire system, comes back, and these 2 blocks are not going to reset until this minecart is full again, regardless of what this hopper is asking for. So now that the hopper is full, the comparator is outputting a signal, the redstone torch is turned off, and when the minecart is full, the block returns, there is no signal, so the door stays shut. So again, because we have an input of 15 to the side, as long as we have a full hopper, the minecart stays in place. Once we don't have a full hopper, the signal strength leaves, it flip-flops the torch back on, allowing this block right here, when it is over top of it, to be powered and open up the gate. And once this minecart gets full, everything resets and your fuel system is primed and ready. But once you have everything all done, that is what you should have right there. Run your fuel minecart until everything is absolutely completely full. Input your items into the top chest. On the first one, I think you get like 18, but look at watch. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. 32. 32 again. But there it is right there. There's your Super Smelter for 1.19. Made this a little bit more compact, so now it's officially my design. And, yeah. You can either mirror the build, like I have done here, okay, but you have to get a little fancy with an activator rail there, so that way the rails don't do a loop. But you can either mirror the build like this. I mean, you can even put a gap in it if you want to. Or you can extend it out to 64 like I have here. So we've just done 32 and 32. This one here actually requires a lot less resources. The only thing that you have to do to this one is you have to extend your repeaters in order to get 64 from this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 repeaters, all set to the 4th tick, that then come up with some redstone to another 5th repeater here on the 3rd tick. The sticky piston and the block and the other redstone is in the exact same spot. The only difference is that when this one gets sent out, it comes back and reloads with 64. So that means every single one of these, including the last one, gets a single item. It reloads with 64, and then it sends off again. So completely up to you. Extend this with 64, mirror it, but I would just build this one. And if you guys are wondering why I don't just set up something like that for this minecart right here, is a setup like this with no redstone block beside this comparator, it doesn't matter. There could be one item in here and that item is going to get smelted. So we don't have any lag, we don't have anything left behind. So that is why I just use basic redstone here, as opposed to setting something up like that. But yeah, there is your super smelter. Go smelt all your items. This thing can handle 20,000 items per hour. It's ridiculous. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. See ya on the next one. Bye.